Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, has fired several employees at SpaceX for their participation in an open letter that criticized the eccentric billionaire for his behavior. The letter was critical of Musk's rocket ship company. Would you like to know more about it? Then stay tuned. Welcome to Techmo. In today's video, we are going to talk about the recent report that SpaceX has reportedly fired an unknown number of employees who recently criticized Elon Musk's recent public behavior in a letter to the company. But before we make it to the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel for more premium content and hit the notification bell to be the first to watch our videos. Musk's trust owns about 78% of SpaceX voting shares as of last year, making him the company's dominant shareholder. The CEO's public persona is often eccentric, particularly on Twitter, where he provides updates and commentary on SpaceX and Tesla. To Musk, using Twitter is like some people using their hair, and he is interested in acquiring the social media company. The CEO of SpaceX, Elon Musk, said during a Twitter all-hands meeting on Thursday that free speech is critical to the platform's users. Last week, a group of SpaceX employees wrote a letter to Musk about his tweets. The Verge was the first to report this. The letter says, Elon's behavior in public is often annoying and embarrassing to us, especially in the last few weeks. As our CEO and most visible spokesperson, Elon is seen as the face of SpaceX. Every tweet he sends is, in effect, a public statement from the company. It's important to make clear to our teams and to people who might want to work for us that his messages don't match our work, mission, or values. Gwen Shotwell, who is the president of SpaceX and runs the company, was supposed to receive personal signatures from individuals who agreed with the letter and hand them over to her. Although Musk is the company's CEO, he primarily serves in the role of a spokesmodel. However, it is possible that he's also in charge of yelling at the Starship engineers in order to get them to work faster. Shotwell has been employed in the aerospace industry since 1988, the same year that Musk was still a student. Shotwell is the one in charge of SpaceX, despite the fact that Musk is known as the ideas guy. A cursory examination reveals that this is in fact the case. Consider Tesla, the company that receives the majority of Musk's attention. It is perpetually in a crisis, is unable to meet deadlines, and is currently pretending to make a robot in the style of Westworld. It's nothing like SpaceX at all. Although it experiences a great deal of delays, it is still successful in completing its government contracts. There is significantly less drama surrounding SpaceX, which can only mean that Musk is not in charge of the company. Shotwell is an individual who is familiar with the fundamentals of managing a company. Even Shotwell is powerless to stop Musk from wreaking havoc at SpaceX, especially now that he is making threats to take over a major social media company. As a result of the letter, SpaceX terminated the employment of 5 individuals. Shotwell was the only person in the company who actually read the email that she sent out to the entire company, which was her boss. She stated that in the email that SpaceX had a lot of work to do and that it was difficult for SpaceX employees to focus on and do their work because of the letter that was sent. There was also no mention of Musk's attempt to purchase Twitter, which was the event that kicked off this cycle and made it difficult for SpaceX employees to concentrate on their work. SpaceX has a problem with a zero-tolerance policy that is in place regarding harassment because the company is rumored to have paid $250,000 to a flight attendant who claimed that Elon Musk had improperly behaved with her and offered her to buy her a horse in exchange for giving him an erotic massage. It does not appear that this is a zero-tolerance policy regarding sexual harassment. Rather, it appears to be a zero-tolerance policy regarding complaints of sexual harassment. And Shotwell is not persuaded that the case Business Insider investigated is a genuine one. Shotwell wrote in a separate email that was also sent to the whole company, I believe the allegations are false. This is not because I work for Elon, but because I have worked closely with him for 20 years, and I have never seen or heard anything like these allegations. Anyone who knows Elon as well as I do knows that he would never act in this way or let it happen. A company paying for its CEO's bad behavior is in line with a zero-tolerance policy on sexual harassment that is not enforced. A year ago, 5 former employees of SpaceX stated that the company does not care about sexual harassment. An ex-mission integration engineer who worked there also wrote an essay in which she described how she was harassed throughout the rest of her time there and how she was inappropriately touched while she was an intern there. Former employee Ashley Kozak wrote in her essay that she reported every instance of sexual harassment to HR, but the department did nothing about it. It was explained to her that a matter of this nature was too sensitive to be discussed openly with the individuals who were responsible for it. Anyway, let's continue with this letter, shall we? It is unknown whether or not these workers who have been fired will take their case to the National Labor Relations Board, but a number of professionals who The Verge spoke to the week before said that their firing was in violation of the law. Musk has already been in trouble with the National Labor Relations Board, which issued him a reprimand for his efforts to prevent unionization at Tesla and slapped him on the wrist as a result. As part of the decision that went against Musk, the judge instructed him to delete one of his tweets. It is still occurring at this time. In point of fact, Elon Musk has done the United States of America a favor by highlighting how sluggish and convoluted our legal and administrative system is. This muddle needs to be addressed by NASA. Maybe NASA will say that this is not appropriate behavior, just like it did when Elon Musk smoked weed on Joe Rogan's popular podcast, and NASA said that it was wrong. In that instance, NASA referred to Elon Musk's actions as not appropriate behavior. After conducting an investigation into the harsh words, NASA decided to reward SpaceX with a bonus of $5 million for employee education. The only company in the US that is currently capable of transporting passengers to the International Space Station is SpaceX. NASA has entered into agreements with both SpaceX and Boeing as part of the Commercial Crew program. When it came time to launch its astronauts into space, NASA relied on rockets manufactured in Russia. The rival Starliner manufactured by Boeing has fallen behind schedule and has not yet transported passengers. It has recently completed a test flight with no crew aboard. It's not just NASA that values SpaceX's contributions. The US military is also involved. But in contrast to NASA, the military actually has options to choose from. Only a few days ago, on the weekend, SpaceX successfully launched a communications satellite with the designation Global Star 2. Satellite trackers, on the other hand, are of the opinion that the mission also carried covered payloads, which may or may not have been connected to the US military. Musk has stated that the process of purchasing Twitter does not consume more than 5% of his time. The fact that 5% of his time is spent doing something that is so visible to the public has a significant impact on his other businesses. Despite her boss's increasingly bizarre behavior in public, Shotwell is still responsible for running SpaceX. However, this demonstrates that her true issue is that she is not really the CEO of SpaceX, despite the fact that she is very comparable to the majority of CEOs in many ways. One difference, she is responsible for cleaning up any messes made by the actual CEO of the company. So that's all for today's video. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more videos like this one, then hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you will always be notified.